Alright guys, how's it going? So, in case you can't see, I'm outside right now. So, what we're doing today is working on this vehicle. So basically, I have to take this right here off, where you see the silver thing right there. And what this is it's a 5.7 GMC. The motor in it is a 5.7, I apologize. And what it is it's a GMC Envoy Denali edition. So, to give you guys a side view of what it looks like. It's all dirty. It's been sitting quite a while. We haven't gotten it plated and it needs a rebuilt head. So first, before we do that though, we have a fuel leak. And that's just so that we can cold start it and move the car. I know it's not good to have it running on a bad head, but what it is the problem with it is it's getting a constant misfire on cylinder number 7, and what that means is that the valve in cylinder number 7 is sticking, and that's a common problem on these motors, especially in these years. So basically what we're doing is we're going to fix the fuel rail first, because the fuel rail has a leak on the O-rings. So we're going to try and ghetto rig take it off, I guess you could say. So let's get started on that. And then basically from there, we're just going to finish the motor up, tighten it up, tidy it up, everything that I need to do to it from there on out. So that'll give you guys a bit of a good view of it. So here we have to take the airbox off first, and I've already got it all loosened up here. The bottom hose was already taken off, so it's real easy to just pull it right off. And then set that off to the side there. And then we've already got our wrench here. Well, our kind of wrench, because I'm kind of broke and kind of can't find my wrench. I don't know where it's at, but it's somewhere inside of the garage, inside of the house back here. But the house is an absolute mess and torn apart inside because they did a bunch of remodeling, and a bunch of the stuff is in the back room. So I've got no access to it. But basically, we can just take this off by pulling the hose straight out here. And just a friendly advice, when you're pulling pressurized hoses off, or valve hoses or pressure hoses or anything like that, always push on the top, because when you pull on it, the braid inside of the hose, because if the hose is braided, it'll catch on to the pipe and it'll pull it really nice and tight, and it'll get stuck in there. So basically all I have to do now is take this off right here, and then on the other side there's another one right here, and then this will come off. Now what's leaking is right underneath here, inside of here. If I move my darn finger so you can see, inside of here is a O-ring, that where this connects to this, there's an O-ring inside of there. That O-ring sprays every single time that you turn the car on. So what we're doing is we're taking that out, and then we're going to replace the O-rings. So I'm going to loosen up these bolts. I'm going to pause this, loosen up these bolts, and then I'm going to come right back to you guys to keep the video kind of short for you, so you guys understand what's going on here. Alright? Sweet. Guys, so I'm back today. We're back here, day 2, working on this engine. I got the tools that I needed yesterday. As you guys can see, right down there, there's the fuel rail. I have the little bolt taken off there, so it goes there. It's all sitting right in there. And then also, one thing I'm missing, my battery. So I take it out. I took the battery out of the car, just like I always do, because, well, when you take the battery, or when you leave the battery in, what it does is it sits there and drains it the whole entire time. Well, instead of just sitting there letting it drain, I took the battery out. Well, when I took the battery out, I put it in the house, and the house is a mess, and nobody knows where it went. So anyway, all I'm doing now is, it's my cigarette for a little bit later, is I'm getting ready to put these in. These are the gasket for that line So these are the gasket for the line, and basically it's really simple. Kind of cold out today too. As you can see my breath. It was really cold yesterday, but it's not as bad today. I did take the plenum off yesterday. I don't know if I showed you guys that, but you got to take the plenum off first, which goes right there. And then once you take the plenum off, then you can get to this thing right here. All the hoses. There's a hose that goes from right here to right here, and that would be this hose here. So basically this hose right here goes all the way into the back, down into there, into the oil or valve cover gasket, or valve cover itself. And when it goes into the valve cover, what it does is it's the oil air breather for the valve cover, and then it just sticks right here into the top of the plenum. So instead of it being there, we just take it off and move it so that we can have full access to the fuel rail. Now, there's only one side of this rail leaking. This side over here is not leaking. Why, I'm not quite sure. But this side over here is leaking really bad. So basically all I have to do, let's see if I can set this camera up for you guys. There we go. So all I have to do is basically just lift this out of here like so, and take the seal and stretch it out around there if I don't drop it, which I did. So let's grab another one since I have a couple of them. Sorry guys, my hands are cold, so I'm not worried about dropping that, because to be honest with you, all of this up here, it's all coming off. So also I can get down into here where the head is, because I have to take the head off anyway to get this vehicle fixed, because what's wrong with it is there's a valve on the inside that's getting valve lash or misfire. And so basically what I have to do is I have to clear that out and clear out the valve and get it to section out. So yeah, okay, well, come to find out, these O-rings are for injectors and not for a fuel rail. So got the wrong ones. Yay, another day, another dollar. Let's hope that they don't remove this today. So basically what we have to do is we have to get the battery, air up these tires. Once we air up the tires, once we get all that done, then we need to move this truck back here into the backyard, to right there, to the side of the house, so that I can take it apart and get it worked on, because the state has officially tagged this vehicle as needing removal. So basically they're going to tow it. I don't know when, hopefully not today, because I'm gonna need to work on it today. Well, so we're gonna figure out what we need to do here, and then I will be back with you guys. So we're gonna try this again. Got an O-ring set here, and basically just going to try and put it on now. So let's hope that it fits this time. Fucking kidding. Okay. So it should be this one here. Oh, one more size down. That one's a little bit too big. And that one's perfect. So you just kind of put the O-ring in the center there, as you guys see. It's on the center of the line there. Move any gunk or anything that you have in the way. And when you put it down on there, as you see, the seal just kind of sits on the top, and as you tighten the line down, it'll push the line down here, as you can see, and seal it off as it pushes it down. So basically, the reason why you put it in the middle here is so that it doesn't crimp, so that it doesn't catch, I guess you could say, on this right here. Now what happens is it catches right here and it just sticks there, and it won't seal. So what it does is it basically squeezes it to where it causes a leak, and that was our last problem that we had when we had put it in here. So you just put the thing back on there just like you took it off. Get the screw started here. And once you get the screw started, you can take your ratchet and your Torx socket, just tighten it back down. And as you tighten it, as you guys see, the line, you guys see how the line is moving down? It's being pushed down into there. Now when that line pushes down in there like that, what it's doing is it's sealing it off airtight so that no fuel can come through. And you just make sure it's tightened down. Alright, we're nice and tight. So now we just find the battery and we can put this thing back together. So basically the air box right back on here like this. Down here underneath below you have an oil or a air feed line here to your other valve cover gasket, and the air feed line goes in right there, right down there, if you guys can see that. Just fits right there on that little nipple there. So we're gonna set this in here first, and then we'll get this pipe in. Let me find a place to put this here for a second for you guys. Hopefully you guys can see in here as I'm doing this. And everything just kind of slides back together here. And then we'll take this line here, the air line, put it back over in here, plug it back into that little nipple there, plug that back into the port. This back into its little notch there. And now we have a LS motor all put back together and ready to go. The only thing is that we are missing the battery here. So as soon as we find the battery, we can get this thing moved out of here and set back up and ready to go. Move it into the yard, and then here in the next week I will be doing another video or a couple of videos on how to tear down one of these LS motors that belongs inside of here. Making sure all the injectors are plugged in here. Alright, so all of our cables and all of our injectors are plugged in. We're going to check spark plug cables on this side now too, just to be sure they're all in. Yes, all the spark plug cables are in. We also have a bunch of new spark comes out of there too. So to show you guys what one of these looks like, it's basically got every single size of O-ring that you could possibly need. So yeah, let's go find a battery, get this thing started and moved. So everyone knows, I do have it running. As you can see, no fuel leak. It's burning off residual something from sitting so long, I'm sure. But it actually runs perfect. No hard idle, nothing like that. It's a little shaky.